Second Cup, brought to you by the Nickel Plate. Sit, sip, savor, and shop.
Hi, everyone. Good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the start of a Saturday morning. Glad you're with us. I'm Ed Dranch alongside our chief meteorologist, Aaron Minkowski. We are interrupting Good Morning America this morning to make sure that you're in the know when it comes to all of the snow that's been moving through western New York, especially the south towns and the southern tier over the last several hours. As it relates to you, we want to make sure you're safe. We want to make sure you're in the know, getting ready for a lot of travel this weekend. And of course, so many people are going to be out shopping for the holidays as well. One thing we should let you know is that we want to hear your voice this morning. We want to hear from you. What is it like in your neighborhood? Grab your phone, join the conversation. In fact, you can send us pictures as well, and we might even hear from you. We've got a full host of officials who are monitoring the roads this morning, making sure that you're safe as you're heading out on this Saturday. But let's get you caught up as it relates to the roads this morning. I want to let you know about some closures especially. First and foremost, there is a travel advisory in the southern part of Erie County, but you see a state of emergency declared for all of Allegheny, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming counties. What does that mean for you? Really nothing. It just means that they're opening the resources to get money here in case something were to happen. They need more help clearing the roads, whatever it may be. The state is offering that help. However, there is a commercial vehicle ban from exit 46, which is Rochester to the Pennsylvania line, and the 90 westbound is closed between Hamburg, exit 57 to the Pennsylvania state line for everyone. So you cannot be on the 90 this morning between Hamburg and Pennsylvania. That commercial vehicle ban on the 90 is in both directions between the 390 and the Pennsylvania line. Again, I mentioned there is that travel advisory as well, which means avoid unnecessary travel. This is in the southern part of Erie County for all towns, including Lackawanna, Hamburg, Evans, Brant, Collins, West Seneca, Orchard Park, Eden, Boston, North Collins, Elma, Aurora, Colden, Concord, Murillo, Wales, and Holland. So we'll get to weather in just a second, but I want to take you around the horn, as they say, show you the different cameras and the different views. Let's start in Fredonia this morning, where we know the southern part of the county and southern tier getting hit hardest. Snow continues to fall there this morning. Same thing in places like Silver Creek, Ripley, and Dunkirk. We were just hearing from some folks in Holland. I see here that I'm going to go back to this comment because we want to hear your voice here. Mary says nothing in Hamburg, but I did see something here from Andromeda, over a foot in Holland and still going. Round 2 is already kicking in, they say.
That makes sense. I have the snow totals graphic up showing some pretty impressive totals already that have been coming down south of Buffalo. Notice Cassadaga, the winner so far, at 31.6 inches of snowfall. Perrysburg about 2 feet. Brockton about 1.5 feet. West Valley more than a foot. You just mentioned Holland. Colden about 8 inches. So these are storm totals so far. But like you mentioned, send in your pictures and give us your reports. You can do so right now on our DPW.com. You mentioned the band south of Buffalo right now. It's going to inch northward as the day moves along. You also were talking about the Thruway. That's 90 west, correct?
Correct. So all of the 90 westbound is closed between Hamburg and the Pennsylvania line. So I was checking in with all these different sources this morning between NITEC, the Thruway Authority, the governor, the Erie County executive, and at this point, all are in agreement. Now, we did see something about the 219 being closed yesterday. That appears to have been reopened.
Okay.
I did not see anything about the 219 being closed this morning.
Zor Valley Road.
Zor Valley Road is also closed this morning in Erie County because there's a tree down between North Otto and Grote Road.
Okay.
Erie County is on it right now. The DPW crews are working that right now. They're also calling in NYSEG to make sure that they can de-energize the lines. But let's talk about the weather here, because some people in the north towns are saying they're seeing nothing, but we see the snow band on the screen here, and they are getting clobbered in the south.
It's amazing. Up in the north towns, the sun's coming up. You have sun. It's chilly. If you're looking south, you see this giant wall of gray. You can see it in downtown Buffalo, too, like coming into work today. Oh, wow, there's that lake band. That band right now is getting itself better organized. It's going to strengthen as the day moves along. So it did weaken a bit overnight, but it will strengthen as the day progresses. Right now, the northern edge of the band getting close to Hamburg, and Collins getting hit again. Holland with some snow stretching just to the south of 20A right now is where the bulk of the snow is. It will cross over 20A later this morning and especially into this afternoon. The southern edge of the band, really from Westfield toward Franklinville. So the northern edge, 20A, you go south, and you draw a line really from Westfield to Franklinville, and that's where that snow band is. This is the area that will really be under the gun later today. Evans, Eden, Boston, Holland, Sheldon, East Aurora, Hamburg, Blaisdell, Elma, Orchard Park, stretching up towards South Buffalo, even Depew and Lancaster, especially southern parts of those locations. We'll get into the action as the day moves along. The best chance for Buffalo to see the snow will be late this afternoon and into this evening.
Okay, so Aaron, walk us through what we can expect. That band, it seems, that would then have to shift north to get into Buffalo.
Yes. So right now, this is the area that I think is the bullseye for later today. So Eden, Hamburg, Blaisdell, East Aurora, Elma, you folks, Sheldon, could see 1 to 2 feet of snowfall. And that's on top of what's, well, a lot of you don't even have any right now at places like Blaisdell and Hamburg. So that's going to change. You'll end up with a foot, maybe 2 in some spots as this band will strengthen. Right now, snow rates are about 1 to 2 inches per hour. That'll change. Could see 2 to almost 4 inches per hour. That sets up over your house for, from Saturday at 4 p.m. till 10. Then you could see 2 feet of snowfall. See, Cindy saying, been sending pictures from Great Valley and Little Valley, about 7 to 8 inches so far. Cindy, I got your pictures. I do appreciate it. And those,
we'll show them in a little while.
I certainly do appreciate that, and the comments coming in as well, letting us know what's going on.
So Melinda here saying that pictures from the Pennsylvania-New York line on the thruway were horrible. I have people that live in Meadville, Pennsylvania, and Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania. They got hit real hard. We know so many people were stuck in that area as well. And that led to the closure of the thruway in Pennsylvania, and then from the Pennsylvania line into New York State up until Hamburg. Again, all closed westbound this morning. Here's the deterioration, so to speak, between Dunkirk, Silver Creek, and Eden and Gola.
That is amazing right there. So I was following these cameras earlier this morning too. Now, when I got in Silver Creek, you couldn't see a thing. Dunkirk, the same. You still can't really see much in Dunkirk. Silver Creek, you're improving a bit, but now notice the band is starting to push up toward that Eden area. So the band will continue to push northward, and you're starting to see things go downhill a bit across southern Erie County as that band strengthens and goes a little bit further northward.
So this is Springville, I believe, last night. This is about as far south as we could get because our crews just simply would not be safe otherwise. People are walking around there. I mean, this is the first snow of the season, and Aaron, maybe what you can do is kind of put some calm into Sarah's question here. What do you think about the Lancaster parade? They're still having a fire truck parade around 6 o'clock tonight. What do you think?
You know what? It's going to be a game time decision for them because the cutoff point of this northern edge of the band is going to be very sharp, and the models bring it up from, say, as far north as South Buffalo to Lancaster, even into Depew. So it really depends on how far north the band gets. Just have to keep watching. They'll just have to pay attention to the weather as the day moves along. Like I said, South Buffalo could see 1 to a foot, maybe even more if the band gets that far north. North Buffalo, you might not see anything. It'll be a wide range in the city of Buffalo, and also a wide range in some towns where, say, southern Lancaster gets a lot of snow and northern parts of the town do not.
So I mentioned earlier in the week that this is going to be a true test for the new acting mayor, Chris Scanlon, and his DPW crews that have been doing this for some time here under the direction of Nate Martin. But as the new mayor, you want to make sure that you're giving a good first impression, right? So we'll have to wait and see how things go.
Where's the plow?
Exactly, right? So we'll be monitoring South Buffalo for you as well. Elizabeth wondering about South Buffalo in particular. Can you put some maybe snow totals on that?
Sure. I could see that area is in the range of perhaps 10 to 12 inches of snow. Even further south in South Buffalo, your numbers will be higher because, like I mentioned, there'll be a sharp cutoff with this band. The models tend to trend. So when I show you them on the screen in a few minutes, they tend to trend a little bit further south. So the actual event will be a little bit further north than what they're showing. So that's what we're talking about right now, is that they keep the band south, but it will be further north. This is the area that I think will get most of the snow later today. Blaisdell, South Buffalo, Elma, East Aurora, Boston, Holland. You'll be on the southern edge of that, Sheldon. let's see, someone just said they had dark clouds.
Yeah, that was in Buffalo from last night.
Okay, yeah, you look south right now in Buffalo, and you just see this wall. And like you mentioned, you have the crews going in there. You'll be driving with no problem. Then you hit that wall. It's going to happen very, very quickly. Travel will deteriorate very rapidly along, say, the 219, Route 16, the 400, 28, 20, as this band continues to move north.
So Linda is in Brant. She joins us every morning. And by the way, if you're new to Second Cup, we do this every single morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. On our Facebook page here and on our WKBW app. She says a plow just went by our house in Brant. Driving is not good here. And I just want to make sure that I address Peter's question as well. He was talking about the Erie County travel advisories that are still in place this morning. And let's bring that up here so that I can actually show you the graphic.
Yeah, that is a great graphic.
Everything shaded in yellow is still under that travel advisory. And I'm going to pull this up here and show you exactly what I mean. So we're talking all of the South towns here, except for Sardinia. Sardinia is the only one not under that travel advisory this morning, but this is in place until further notice. What does that mean? No unnecessary travel.
Okay.
So if you don't have to be outside, don't be. If you don't have to be traveling, don't be. I did also make some calls this morning. Cattaraugus County also has a travel advisory in place for the entire county until further notice. They're asking that you avoid any unnecessary travel as well. And when I was speaking with folks in Cattaraugus County and Chautauqua County as well, they were telling me a few cars are off the road. There's also that commercial travel ban on the 86. So, you know, while there are no tractor trailers, you might see regular traffic moving through. That's okay. But that commercial travel ban in place on 86 as well.
86 and also the 90 from Rochester, right, to the Pennsylvania line. So you might see a lot of large trucks with no place to go, as you just mentioned with 86 and the 90.
So we're going to continue taking your questions. If you're watching on Channel 7, we appreciate you. We're going to take a quick break on TV, but continue the conversation on Facebook. It's 8:12 on a Saturday. You're watching Good Morning Buffalo. Okay, so if you are with us on Facebook, we are going to bring in my friend Bill Geary. I just want to make sure that I can hear him.
I'm going to go update everything, so we have the 2 minutes.
Hi, Bill. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hey, good morning, Eddie. How's it going, bro?
Good. I'm so glad to have you along for the ride here. I just wanted to make sure that we could hear you. We're going to come back from this break, and then we'll join in with you. Is that cool?
Sounds great, buddy. Thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate you. Okay, so Aaron is updating the maps right now. I'm just going to take them out so that he can do his thing. We are seeing, okay, also, I see the comments here from Collins. Who was in Collins this morning? Lynn. Can you, Lynn, do me a favor? Can you please send me a text message? What I'd like to do is send you a link, Lynn, so that you can join us on the show and show us live what it looks like outside your house, and we can talk back and forth on camera. That would be super awesome. Let me give you my cell phone number. It's 716-713-3514. And Aaron in the booth, maybe you can put that in the comments for me. 716-713-3514. I'd love to be able to send you a link to join us and be part of the show. And then I also saw somebody else, maybe Linda, maybe you could do the same thing. Linda in Brant, that would be super awesome. And then I'm going through the comments here. Hang on. Okay, no problem. Barbara says, loving the turtleneck today, Ed. Thank you so much. The no tie look for Aaron. Yes, he's living his best life. Okay, so Lynn, text me. I'm going to send you a link, and then you can just click the link and join us, and then we'll bring you into the show. We've got about 30 seconds before we get back on TV, and then we'll answer all of your questions, and then I'm going to, yes, Aaron. I can try. Okay, here we go. We're bringing back our TV viewers. Let's merge in. Stand by for us.
Okay, there's that.
Welcome back. It's 8:14 on the start of your Saturday morning. Glad you're with us for a special edition of Good Morning Buffalo and Second Cup. For those of you who are watching on Channel 7 right now, we invite you to be part of the conversation. grab your phone and log on to our WKBW Facebook page. We want to hear from you and answer all of your questions as you're heading out and about this morning. Let's get you caught up with where that snow band is this morning, and we'll get you caught up with the forecast as well. Aaron's going to take it away.
Okay, so here are your weather headlines for today. Right now, that band is south of Buffalo, well south of Buffalo. It's going to inch northward this morning and then really settle over the south towns as we get into this afternoon. Right now, that band is producing snow about 1 to 2 inches per hour in the heart of the band. We could see about 2 to 4 inches per hour later today, so that band will strengthen as the day moves along. Look at some of these storm totals so far with more snow on the way. Cassadaga leading the pack at about 32 inches, Perrysburg close to 2 feet, Brockton, West Valley in that 16 to 18 inch range, and Colden about 8 inches. We're getting Deneen right there saying Silver Creek is getting a lot of snow. Yes, Silver Creek certainly is. You might get a little lull and then more snow as the day moves along. We take a look at the radar, and there is that band. It is coming in off of Lake Erie. We've been talking about this since Monday, that we would have to deal with the intense lake effect snow off of Lake Erie, and here we go. The northern edge of the band now getting close to, like I said, 20A right there. Hamburg starting to see some flakes flying. East Aurora, Sheldon stretching over toward Warsaw. Western parts of Wyoming County will see more snow. Same thing with southwestern Genesee County, then other parts of the county. Boston, Holland, Concord, the southern edge really from Chautauqua toward Franklinville. And Salim is saying a dusting in Hamburg near Camp in southwestern so far. Appreciate that update. That's going to change. You'll end up with a foot or two of snow by the time all is said and done as that band moves northward, heading toward Hamburg right now, slowly, but it is doing so. We have the snow for Eden and Boston. So Eden, Boston, East Aurora, Blaisdell, Hamburg, Alma, South Buffalo, Depew, Lancaster, especially southern parts of those towns will be in the bullseye later on today.
Okay, so you're hearing about where the snow actually is falling right now, and I want to bring in my friend Bill Geary, who is Erie County's DPW Commissioner. He is the man of the hour, the man with the plan. Bill, good morning to you. Glad you're with us. Give us an update from your end. What are you seeing on the roads this morning?
Hey, good morning, Eddie and Aaron. So the roads obviously very low volume being the weekend, which is a good thing. 219, 400 still flowing nicely. I've been down and I'm right now on the edge of where this northern edge of this storm is. Light flurries. I'm just north of 20A by the stadium, Orchard Park, but you can definitely see the hilltops from the reports. We got about 16 plow trucks out right now over the 3 southern districts, Hamburg, Aurora, and Concord. Down North Collins, Concord, Zor Valley area, they probably got about 14 inches of snow through yesterday.
Bill, give us an idea. What is the one area that you guys are focusing on right now in terms of clearing the roads, making sure that everything is passable?
Correct. Yeah. First and foremost, our main objective right now through this storm is just to ensure that all the roads are passable. Once most all the heavy precipitation snow stops falling, we'll get those roads back down to bare pavement. But we're really focusing. We know it's a weekend. It's a big shopping weekend. People are going to be out and about. We did put travel advisories because conditions could change at a moment's notice. So we want people to be prepared for the worst case scenario. Hopefully you get out, go to the grocery, go do your shopping, what you have to do today, tomorrow, and be home in time to watch the Bills or go to the Bills game.
Absolutely.
That's the plan.
Well, okay, so maybe fill us in here, Bill. You guys are obviously going to be focused on Orchard Park tomorrow, getting folks in and out of the stadium and helping the crews in Orchard Park. What should we know if we're going to the game? It's an 8:20 game. People are going to be out there early tailgating. What are you telling those folks?
Yeah, we'll be, we have to focus on the entire county with our partners from State DOT and Thruway, because we know a lot of people also come from outside the region. But we will be, all the updates we're getting, we get them almost every 4 to 5 hours from National Weather Service plus SUNY Albany, Dr. Basil and the Mesonet out there. Keep updating us. We know we have up until about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We close Abbott Road for the game at 3:20, but we'll ensure that we have all these roads open and passable, obviously even down the black pavement if possible, as we anticipate the heavy snow this today and through the overnight period. But one thing I will tell fans, if you're not parking in an NFL lot at the stadium or over at ECC, just make sure the lots that you're going to, because there could be 2-3 feet of snow in their people's front yards or backyards, that lot's still available. So give yourself some extra time there. And always, just be cautious of the plows out there. Don't crowd the plows. We're gonna be working in and around. We know we're gonna have a high density population as we do on game day, and the Bills fans have always been great. We're looking forward to another big victory Sunday night.
Love that. And that's a really good point. If you're going to somebody's private lot, you need to make sure that it's plowed. Give yourself some extra time to perhaps find another lot. So Aaron, maybe give us an idea. What can we expect tomorrow for the game?
Well, you know what? He was just mentioning that, Bill. It's so nice of him to join us this morning.
best.
I know you're very, very busy, so we certainly appreciate it. I do want to ask you, because you're on the northern edge of the band right now, and you're looking southward. What's it look like from where you are? Because I'm trying to match up the radar to exactly where you are right now.
I can tell you the edge is probably, you can see to the north. The city, you probably have sunglasses on. It's still, it's sunny. It's a beautiful morning. As you head south on Abbott Road and you get to about Mile Strip area, that's right where the edge of the clouds are. You can see almost taking the exact angle of the lake heading to the north. So it's probably clipping into Elma from Orchard Park. But as you go south, it gets, you can see these nice heavy gray snow clouds, light flurries as you transition south, and you get deep into Hamburg area south of Orchard Park, and it's a pretty good snow, 1 inch an hour, and in some cases on top of the hills 2 inches an hour.
The Bills are also asking for folks to come out and help shovel. So Bill, maybe give us some pointers here, because all things considered, if the roads are not necessarily passable from the south, what are you telling those people?
Yeah, no, we'll make sure the roads are passable. This isn't anything epic, even though we're gonna see temporary conditions, probably like Aaron said, 2 to even 4 inches an hour in some of those real heavy areas. We should still be able to manage that. The municipalities, it's not just Erie County, it's a team effort with all our municipal partners, because they plow half of our roads, plus New York State DOT, New York State Thruway. We've been prepping for this since really Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We've had daily calls, New York State DOT's put together, working all of us to make sure we're on. If there's extra equipment needed, we've pre-positioned Erie County, pre-positioned some equipment today, just in anticipation if there is issues again on the 90, some extra commercial traffic that might be coming out, some known areas where we have some tractor trailers that are empty trying to get up hills. So we'll have some stuff there. But for all in all, it's going to be a slow go, but we are not anticipating any major shutdowns. But we are telling people there is going to be driving advisories, because if you don't need to be out there, just don't be out there. It makes our
Sure.
job, the plow truck drivers, a lot easier to get out and about and get everything done and open faster.
We were trying to show part of the
stadium.
stadium, right? And of course, there's a commercial that pops up as YouTube goes, as we're trying to see it, which is fine.
Yeah, there you go.
But here's what the stadium actually looks like right now, the new Highmark Stadium. And really, it's just a dusting. There's really nothing there right now.
Adjusting, but he described it perfectly. You can see those dark, ominous clouds as you look southward, pushing northward, heading toward Orchard Park. And I love the fact that they're so well coordinated.
Right.
With the Weather Service, you're talking to SUNY Albany as well, with all the Mesonet sites, and getting the best forecast you possibly can get as they prepare for tomorrow.
This is a really good point from Catherine. And it's those NFTA drivers who are going to be taking you to and from the stadium with the Game Day Express. And she's saying park at the McKinley Mall and take the shuttle over to the stadium tomorrow. It's $5 in both directions.
Really? That's it?
That's it.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
$10 total. You don't really have to worry about finding a private lot to park in. You've got that lot, and they're just going to shuttle you to and from, which is awesome. But again, really not much at the stadium this morning, but there are certainly some travel advisories in southern Erie County. Again, I'll run down the list here. Lackawanna, Hamburg, Evans, Brant, Collins, West Seneca, Orchard Park, Eden, Boston, North Collins, Elma, Aurora, Colden, Concord, Murillo, Wales, and Holland. And Bill, as you've been saying, just if you don't have to be out on the roads, give those folks time to plow the road.
That's exactly it. We don't want to have to send any first responders out. We will, obviously, if there's an issue, but just stay home, eat the leftovers. I'm sure there's some great stuff on TV today. Get the house decorated, do all that fun stuff you need to do. Tomorrow's the day you really want to be prepared to come out and cheer on the Bills.
Great day. I appreciate you, Bill. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the best.
Certainly
Please
appreciate it.
Thank your
Stay
crews
safe.
for all they're doing, working on a holiday weekend. We appreciate them.
Yeah, thank you, and go Bills.
Go Bills.
You know it.
See you later, Bill. Okay, so I want to address some questions here before we take a quick break.
Sure.
Melanie is wondering, should I take a different route other than the thruway driving home to North Tonawanda from Ithaca area later this afternoon?
No, you take the 90, you're coming up Ithaca, so you'll hit the thruway, head westward. You should have no problems with that. So you probably want to leave around lunchtime or so if you're heading back to NT. NT is clear. The north towns are clear. I saw someone saying something about Lockport. You might get a little snow, but you're not going to get much. I love listening to Bill. He's
the best.
He's so calm. He's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get all this snow. They've got 16 crews positioned. They're ready for this. Orchard Park will pick up about 10 to 20 inches of snowfall. Wow. It's coming.
And right this is going into next week too, right? Like this is going into Monday at least.
Yes, it is going into Monday at least. That's what the warning runs through. But the cold air is with us pretty much all of next week. So this is a long-lasting event that will continue through this weekend. Monday, there will be a lot of schools closed on Monday, especially south of Buffalo. So parents, if you're watching right now, have a plan for Monday. If you have to go to work, but your kids are home because there's a pretty good chance areas south of Buffalo, there's just so much snow, and that warning continues through 7 p.m. on Monday for areas south of Buffalo.
I want to give you a chance to put some snow totals up as well, because I think it's really important for folks to actually get a sense of what they're going to be dealing with this morning we take a live look here in the south towns as well with our NITEC cameras. Aaron, in the booth, maybe you can give us an idea of where exactly this is. This is in Ripley. So this is right on the Pennsylvania line, and as we know, the thruway is closed this morning westbound between Hamburg, which is exit 57, to the Pennsylvania line, and they had been dealing with a lot yesterday when it came to cars getting stuck on the road. But Aaron, give us a sense of how much we might be able to expect, at least through Monday.
Okay, through Monday. So I'm seeing a lot of, say, Springville and Perrysburg. They're already talking about 3 feet of snow in some spots. Where in Sinclairville, I believe I saw a 3-foot report as well. So on top of what you have, this is what's expected from now through early Monday morning. So another couple of feet of snow along that Chautauqua Ridge, along the Lake Erie shoreline. Near Springville, you're in that 12 to 24 inch range. And nothing in West Seneca. It's going to change, Stephanie. It will be there. It's coming late this morning. It wasn't supposed to be there until late this morning and into this afternoon. So it's on its way. You'll get some. And then that band is going to get as far north as South Buffalo, stretching over toward perhaps Lancaster and Depew. It's a very, very sharp cutoff. If you go outside in Buffalo and look south, you see that band, and it is dark, and it's moving northward, but it's going to get as far north as it's going to go late this afternoon into early this evening. So if you're north of that cutoff later today, you're not going to get much. And the cutoff looks like it makes its way toward South Buffalo or downtown Buffalo, eastward over toward Cheektowaga and Depew, and then you make your way into, say, Hamburg, West Seneca, East Aurora, Elma, Orchard Park, Blaisdell, Brant. Those areas will pick up about 10 to 20 inches of snow today with some locally higher amounts.
Now, Aaron, I mean, a lot of people are also going to be traveling via air.
Yes.
Let's talk about the airport this morning. Okay. I'm just seeing a flight to Boston that's delayed this morning. That was, let me just get back to here. Where am I here? That was delayed. It's a JetBlue flight to Boston that's delayed until about 11:40 this morning.
Okay.
Everything else really
that might be more of a technical.
On or close to schedule. But what are you predicting for the airport?
So the airport, you're right on the northern edge of this band. Like I said, areas in Cheektowaga, South Cheektowaga could get will get a lot more than, say, North Cheektowaga. So by the airport, if you have a flight for late this afternoon, say after around 4 p.m. through, say, 10 p.m., you might have some snow at the airport. The airport, though, is fine.
They know how to handle this.
Yeah. Our airport, people from all over the world come to the Buffalo airport to see how to remove snow. So if anyone can get you out, it is the folks at the Buffalo airport.
Ryan, we're going to answer your question in the break on our Facebook Live page. We're going to take a quick break on TV, and then we're going to check in with our friend Lynette, who's in North Collins, coming up right after this. You're watching Good Morning Buffalo. Okay, so let's answer the question here that we had about Depew as you're continuing to watch on our WKBW Facebook page. He was, I believe, a business owner wondering about how.
Okay, and I wish I had a more concrete answer for you, but late this afternoon, say 3 or 4 p.m. through this evening, is when Depew could be on the northern edge of that band. Like I said, it's moving northward, but it's just going to be such a definitive cutoff of where the heavy snow is going to be, and the models are keeping it further south than where the band will actually be. So like I said, drawing kind of a line from South Buffalo to Depew southward is where you'll be in on that band, which will be as we get into the afternoon hours. So like say 3 p.m. or so through around 10 is the best estimate I can give you.
All right, let's merge in with our TV viewers. Stand by for us. Good morning to you. It's 8:30 on the start of a Saturday morning. Glad you're with us for a special edition of Second Cup and Good Morning Buffalo. I'm Ed Dranch alongside our chief meteorologist, Aaron Minkowski, here tracking the snow to make sure that you're in the know when it comes to getting out on the roads and what to expect into today, tonight, and into tomorrow, especially ahead of the Bills game. A couple of things I want to run down first and foremost as you're getting your day going. There is a travel advisory in place for all of southern Erie County except for Sardinia. You're looking live at the snow totals so far this morning. Casadega, the bell ringer here at 31.5 inches. Aaron's going to give us the forecast in just a moment. I also want to let you know that the 90 westbound is closed between Hamburg, which is exit 57, to the Pennsylvania state line. That is for everyone. However, there's also a commercial truck ban on the 90 in both directions between Rochester and the Pennsylvania line, and a state of emergency in place for Allegheny, Erie, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Genesee, and Wyoming counties. Now, what does that really mean for you? Nothing. It just means that they're opening up some funding to help clear roads, bringing in extra crews, and if something were to happen, they've got the resources to make sure that everything is totally cool and under control. And again, really, this is nothing that Western New Yorkers can't handle. So much of this focused, especially in the southern tier. Yeah,
along the Chautauqua Ridge, we're getting reports of 2 to 3 feet of snow. Some of you saying even more than that already, stretching over towards Springville. There's a view right now. That's not where you want to be, stuck in that traffic right there.
This is actually from last night.
Oh, Aaron. That's last night.
And again, we should point out that the 90 is closed as a result of all of this. People were just stuck in this mess.
So the 90 westbound, correct, from 57 to the PA line is closed. Eastbound is still open.
Yes.
And then you have what the tractor trailers are.
For the entire throughway between Rochester and the Pennsylvania line.
And Interstate 86 too, correct?
Interstate 86 is also with that travel ban for commercial traffic. And we should also point out that there are those travel advisories in place in southern Erie County, and Cattaraugus County as a whole is under a travel advisory as well.
Okay. So that's what you're seeing from yesterday. When we were going through the NITEC cameras this morning, you could see near whiteout conditions, Silver Creek, Dunkirk, and then as you panned northward, clear skies, but now that snow band is starting to slowly inch northward. We just had Bill Geary on, and he's by the stadium. Looking south, you can see some very, very dark clouds. Hamburg getting some light snow, East Aurora over towards Sheldon, mostly south of 20A, a couple of flurries stretching up toward Elma and Attica. As we zoom south, the band from Westfield toward Franklinville. So areas that are well south of Buffalo, this band is going to move northward, so you catch a little bit of a break, but heavy snow still, Westfield to Dunkirk over toward Brant. Springville really picked up an enormous amount of snow last night. Same thing with Concord. And then here's the area later today that is going to get hit very, very hard. Hamburg, East Aurora, Blaisdell, Elma. That's kind of the heart of where the band, Orchard Park, as well as where the band will be as we get toward actually this afternoon into this evening before it shifts back southward on Sunday.
Okay, so I want to bring up my computer, Aaron, in the booth. Maybe what you can do is show what Ripley looks like this morning so that we can actually share it with everyone. I want to make sure that you're seeing what we're seeing here in real time. So this is Ripley. And Aaron, you can take my computer here unless it's not sharing. Let's see.
That's the other Aaron. There are several Aarons who work here.
Aaron in the booth. Okay, so this is what it looks like in Ripley right now. We showed you what it looked like last night. We see that the westbound side is closed, obviously, to all traffic, but eastbound is open this morning.
All that snow, and you can see pavement right there. That is an impressive job by the DPW
And the DOT,
the DOT of what they're doing. And like you said, we spoke to Bill. They got 16 trucks ready to go to do the clearing. And if they get 10 to 20 inches of snow, which is most likely going to happen around the stadium, they'll be able to move it. They're
I
ready.
want to show you what it looks like as well in North Collins. My friend Lynette is here with us. She is our special second cup viewer who's joining us from North Collins. Lynette, good morning to you. Glad you're with us. Glad you're safe. Tell us what you're seeing out there in North Collins.
Good morning, gentlemen. Well, we are seeing snow upon snow upon snow. It's been snowing here since about 12:30 yesterday. It started and it just has not quit.
Now, what are you dealing with over there? I mean, in terms of snowfall, I mean, it looks like there's a lot in North Collins. What are you seeing maybe in terms of a measurement?
I am actually in Collins off of 39, and we have well over a foot, maybe two. The plows have been coming through and they've been clearing. But as you can see, it just keeps coming. As soon as we get the driveways cleared, it's just nonstop.
Wow.
It hasn't stopped at all.
Wow, that is a lot of snow. But you said about 1 to 2 feet of snow there in Collins?
Yes.
And Lynette, obviously there's a driving ban, a travel advisory. I want to make that perfectly clear. A travel advisory in your neighborhood. Are you seeing people out on the road?
Very minimal this morning. There's not a lot of cars out. You see basically the plows that are trying to keep it going. Collins is doing a great job with their plows, and Erie County is doing a great job keeping the roads clear. We had a lot of accidents out here last night because people were on the roads, but I worked all day yesterday in it, and there was not a lot of cars coming in. It was just very minimal driving, and those that were driving were talking about they were sliding off the road everywhere.
So Lynette is in in Collins. You're looking at Dunkirk here from our night tech camera, and you talk about the people sliding off the roads.
Yep,
look at the one car that's on the road in the whiteout in the middle of the road.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be like as that band, as you said, in Dunkirk right now, continues to move slowly northward. Those are the conditions you're going to get as the day moves along, especially across the south towns where conditions are going to deteriorate pretty quickly once that band settles over you. Right now, the band producing snow rates about 1 to 2 inches per hour. We're expecting the band to strengthen today and get in that 2 to 4 inch range per hour as we get into this afternoon and early this evening.
Aaron, talk specifically to Lynette here
Sure.
in terms of Collins, North Collins, Gowanda, perhaps.
Yep.
What are we expecting to see throughout the day?
Well, as the day moves along, you're still going to be in that lake effect snow band, but notice with Lynette's camera right there, it doesn't look that bad right now. There's some light snow, but visibilities have certainly improved there in Collins. This band's going to continue to scooch northward. It does look like the plows have been out there, so that's a very encouraging sign the way how well they're keeping up with this storm. Places like Gowanda, probably, I think we saw 2 feet of snow from a report, and you'll get another 1 to 2 feet of snow. This band's going to move northward and then shift back south on Sunday. So areas well south of Buffalo, you're kind of digging out later today, but more snow is on the way. And this is going to be a very, very high impact event along the Lake Erie shoreline for places like Dunkirk and Silver Creek, and then stretching up into western parts of central Erie County, especially south central Erie County, Hamburg, Orchard Park, East Aurora, Elma. And, we get the report from Collins as well that you're expecting perhaps another 1 to 2 feet of snow, maybe more in some spots.
Lynette, my dear, how long have you lived in Western New York?
I've lived in Western New York my whole life, but I've lived in Buffalo most of it. And I moved out to this area, and they're all like, well, we haven't had snow in years. And I'm like, oh, surprise. They're like, you brought the snow with you. No.
Lynette, tell me, you seem like a hardy woman, a hardy soul. Can you deal with this?
I have no choice. I live in Western New York.
And isn't that the case, right?
Right.
Western New Yorkers, this is nothing that is new to us.
No.
And, perhaps living in Buffalo, you see it a little bit less than you do than perhaps Collins. But,
I hope it wasn't the realtor who said you don't get a lot of snow in Collins, Lynette. Yeah.
All things considered, give us an estimate here, Lynette. Is this a lot? Is this a little? Is this something that you can't handle?
This isn't a lot for me, being that I've been in Buffalo with 5 feet and 7 feet of snow in the past 10 years. So this isn't a lot at all.
That's what I figured.
This is
I love the
minimal.
positive attitude.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to get snow. You're going to get more snow, Lynette. So just keep smiling and enjoy, the safety of your home.
I love what
Definitely.
Lori's saying here. Yes, that's right. You got this, girlfriend.
Definitely. You guys have a great day. Stay warm, stay safe, and go Bills.
You too, Lynette. Thank you so
Go
much for
Bills.
showing us what it looks like outside your house in Collins. We appreciate you. You do the same.
Not a
See
problem.
you
Have a
soon.
great-
Yep. Thanks, Lynette. Stay safe. So again, the camera you're seeing, this is a live view of the 90 at Dunkirk, correct? So 90 westbound is closed from exit 57 through the PA state line. Eastbound you can still drive on, but unfortunately you have the car that's going to strand it right there, which now is a very difficult situation for a lot of people because plow drivers are out and they're going to see this. Now they got to get somebody there to, basically rescue that person because that snow is not going to, Dunkirk, you'll get a little lull later today, but then it's coming back. You've already had snow that you're measuring in feet and expect another 1 to 2 feet of snow in Dunkirk as we head into tomorrow and Monday.
Aaron, maybe you can answer Sue's question here. I've got to go out to Elma around 6 p.m. tonight. Are they going to get hit with a lot of snow? I'm worried about driving.
Yes. Very easy answer. Yes. Elma's going to get hit with a lot of snow. Around 6 p.m. it will be snowing rather heavily.
Well, and then isn't this the case? So many people are going to be traveling in the next couple of days, especially between today and Monday, because we know that after Thanksgiving comes the travel rush. And a lot of people have to get back to school, right? Dawn, wondering if I can take my college-age daughter to Ithaca from Evans tomorrow or Monday.
Okay, I think you might want to wait till Monday. If you're leaving from Evans, let the plows do their thing because that snow is going to come down for you today into tonight and tomorrow. Maybe wait till Monday morning, let things clear out just a bit. The band will not be as strong on Sunday into Monday, so that's some good news. But we're going to get a lot of snowfall today in your area. You're kind of in that bullseye today, so you may want to wait to see how things clear out for Monday.
Okay, Gail also wondering, going from Cleveland home to Buffalo, when should I travel?
Oh, boy. Oh, Gail, that's a real tough one.
Gail, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think today's the day.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. The 90 westbound is closed.
And I thought they were closing the 90 in parts of Pennsylvania and Ohio.
In Pennsylvania, it definitely is as well. Oh,
Yeah,
and you see one of the plows going by there.
Gail,
Look at the difference.
You're going to want to check the DOT pages for PA and also for Ohio. When you want to travel here, it's going to be a real slow go. Like Ed mentioned, the 90 westbound is closed, and they could be closing eastbound later today as the band does intensify. And then just kind of following your GPS through near whiteout conditions because you can't get home on the thruway. So if you could stay put for a while, that's what I would do.
This is fascinating to watch, just the complete difference one plow pass can make, but then it covers right back up.
I'm with you on that. I find it fascinating that they're able to plow that down to pavement, and then we'll watch it for about 15, 20 minutes, and it'll be covered again because that snow rate is about 1 to 2 inches per hour.
Becky, if we're heading to the Polar Express train in Wyoming County from Lockport today at 1:30, we'll be okay to travel. Any specific route?
So Lockport to Wyoming. So Wyoming County, western parts of the county will get a lot more snow. Same thing with southwestern Genesee County. So I don't know exactly where the Polar Express train stop, where you get on, but they'll be getting the snowfall around 1:30. I guess if you took 104 to eastbound, you would really not have too many issues on that, and then you'd have to work your way southbound. Just add a lot of patience and some time before you get there. We have all driven in this before.
Yeah.
So this is not the first time, but you're asking. And North Towns, Niagara and Orleans counties, no problems. Then you try to get through Genesee County to Wyoming County. That's where you're going to run into some snow, especially if you hug the western parts of those two counties.
Okay, so I'm just in control here.
Okay.
And I'm just
like he likes it. So I'll answer some questions.
Yes.
But yeah. So Kelsey, will Amherst get anything today? Not much. The North Towns like Amherst might get a dusting. Most likely that band doesn't get as far north as Amherst, but say southern parts of Amherst, closer to the water tower, have a better chance of getting snow than say you folks along the 990 at, exit 2 is Sweet Home. So like that's even Amherst, South Amherst will see different snow totals as opposed to North Amherst.
Okay, so this is Silver Creek. I want to bring this one up in particular because you can't see much.
Yes. Can you get to the Eden Angola one too? Because I'm
sure.
curious to see how much it has changed in like the last hour. And I want to answer Marlene's question as well. Going east to Syracuse is fine. Going to Fort Drum, though, along Interstate 81 might be close to impossible. They are getting more snow. Lake Ontario snow rates are even higher than the ones off of Lake Erie. So just want to give you a heads up on that, Marlene. I don't mean to scare you, but Watertown, and as you make your way up toward Fort Drum through the Tug Hill, they are expecting 5 to 7 feet of snow, where we are expecting 3 to 4 feet of snow. So no problems right now eastbound. I know Syracuse is playing a big football game today against Miami. If you're heading that way, no problems. Later today when you come home, you might get clipped a little bit of snowfall, but you can see as we zoom out toward Lake Ontario on the eastern end, Fort Drum, unfortunately, getting there on 81 is going to be very tough.
Okay, so I just want to update you quickly with some breaking news just coming into the newsroom. Fredonia and the town of Pomfret are now also under a travel advisory, and that's in addition to all of Cattaraugus County, and then travel advisories in place for the southern part of Erie County, including Lackawanna, Hamburg, Evans, Brant, Collins, West Seneca, Orchard Park, Eden, Boston, North Collins, Elma, Aurora, Colden, Concord, Murillo, Wales, and Holland. So all of those areas are under a travel advisory right now, which really means no unnecessary travel. If you don't have to be out on the road, please stay home.
You see what you're seeing on the screen, that's what you'll be driving. And if you're not comfortable with that, just stay in for today.
Jeremy, I want to answer your question as well here. I've got to take the kids to Holland, New York. What time is safe to drive from Buffalo?
Well, I would say the sooner the better, Jeremy. They're getting the snow right now. That band is going to be kind of settling between Buffalo and Holland as the day moves along, and it's going to strengthen. While you still have the daylight, I would get out as soon as you can if you have to. And hopefully you got some new good tires. And, because Holland is already, we've got reports already of close to a foot of snow near Colden and Holland in that area, and those numbers are only going to go up.
Denise says she'd rather have snow than a hurricane. Certainly understand that. Shania wondering why there is a travel advisory in Lackawanna and Hamburg, and I assume the band is going to be moving north.
Yeah, it's going to be moving northward. We're trying to tell everybody it will be there later today. When they issue a warning for even parts of northern Erie County, which is Lackawanna, and southern Erie County, there'll be a big disparity in snow totals across Erie County. So the warning is a long-lasting event, but notice like north of Interstate 86, you're not getting much snowfall across Chautauqua County and Cattaraugus County. But if you got on the 219 from Salamanca and tried to go northbound to Springville, you would run into a significant amount of snow. So the advisory is in place for the anticipation of this band moving northward. And we are seeing that. At the top of the show, we had the snow mostly south of 20A, and now notice some snow getting north of 20A, heading up toward 20 near Elma and Attica. And that slow trend will continue as the day moves along. And then Boston, Evans, Holland. I know we had a couple of people in Evans, and now that band is kind of setting up right near you as it continues to move northward. There's Holland with someone who wanted to go from Buffalo to Holland. And again, you get down past 400 toward Route 16, and it's going to be very, very difficult to drive in there.
This is a great point. Will the city be getting a lot because the world's largest disco is tonight?
That's right. That's right. It is tonight. And if you're coming in from the south town, it's going to be tough to get here. The city might get a little snow between that 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. window. Again, nothing the city can't handle. We'll be on the northern edge of that band. But South Buffalo will certainly see more snow than the city itself and North Buffalo. I think you'll be fine at the disco, especially if you're coming in from the north towns. If you are coming in from the south towns, it is going to be a slow go. Which camera is this? So,
Aaron, if you take my computer here, I've got Dunkirk pulled up because somebody was just saying that Dunkirk is being slammed right now. Excuse me, Dunkirk is being slammed right now. So I'm not really sure what camera this is, but if you take my computer, Aaron, in the booth, you'll be able to see what Dunkirk actually looks like. Again, this is whiteout conditions many cases.
Yeah, and Dunkirk, you're going to just continue to get slammed as we head into tomorrow and even into Monday. Dunkirk schools, again, parents, it's Saturday. I would say it's a pretty good chance your kids aren't going to school on Monday. So have a plan for school closures south of Buffalo as we get into Monday. If you might have to go to work and your kids will be home. We just got a report too, Lackawanna starting to see some flakes. Yes. So that we appreciate that as that band continues to move north.
You had mentioned wanting to see the Angola camera. So Aaron, now let's flip back to that so that we can actually see, because it is snowing there, but certainly a little bit of a difference.
But about an hour ago, it was clear. And now notice the thruway starting to get a little snow covered as that band makes its way northward toward that Eden Angola exit. And there's a truck going through right now. So notice the snow is covering the roads, and that band now pushing into there. Right now, the snow rate doesn't look too impressive, but you'll have snow rates in this area of about 1 to 2, perhaps 4 inches per hour as we get toward, this afternoon.
So Lloyd's Taco is with us this morning. We appreciate you, Lloyd. Nobody loves 7 News more than Lloyd, and we are so glad you're with us for a special edition of Good Morning Buffalo and Second Cup. It's 8:50. We're going to take a short break here on TV, and we'll be back with you just after this. Stay with us. Okay, so if you're watching on our Facebook Live page, this is the coolest part because you kind of get a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look. Braden is wondering, when should I leave from Buffalo to Evans? I mean, look, the reality is that there are some travel advisories in place. You can drive cautiously, but it sounds like more snow is going to be falling in those areas. So if you can get out soon. Sooner rather than later is probably the best bet here. Sue is saying clear in Cheektowaga. Clouds are so dark going toward West Seneca, Elma that way. Lewis, good morning to both of you. I would like to know how much snow with the lower side will Buffalo get? And it appears that Buffalo, that line that Aaron was saying, is really, really super sharp. So South Buffalo might get the most of this, as it normally does if it were coming into the city. And then it might kind of shift a little bit south, or more snow would fall south of that area in particular. So Aaron, maybe you can kind of just answer Lewis's question here about South Buffalo, or how much on the low end would Buffalo get?
I would say South Buffalo could get anywhere from 5 to 10 to 12 inches of snow, and then and could go higher if the band does sneak its way into South Buffalo. We've seen that before, where the band does push northward.
Let's merge in with our TV viewers. Okay, welcome back. It's 8:52 on the start of your Saturday morning. Glad you're with us. We are covering the weather here for you when it comes to the warnings, the travel advisories that are in place, and what you need to know moving forward. So Aaron, kind of give us the full forecast here. Okay, well, this right now, that's a view from Dunkirk, correct? On the 90, you can see a car stranded there, kind of in the middle of the median. Not a good place to be as that snow is coming down. Visibilities are greatly reduced in Dunkirk, where they're already measuring snow in feet in that area. You'll get a little lull later today, but more snow as we head into tonight and tomorrow. And right now, Dunkirk is just under the gun with that snow. We have the radar showing the northern edge of the band pushing up toward 20A, just crossing over it right now with a few flakes, pushing near Lackawanna and Elma over toward Attica. Holland getting a lot of snowfall. And then we head over toward Westfield and Cassadaga with some heavy snow. Cassadaga already measuring snow in feet as well, up into Concord, and then back toward Wales. Java along the 219 travel will be very, very difficult. Same thing, of course, with the thruway. Exit 57 westbound is closed all the way to the PA line, but thruway eastbound still open, but that's going to be tough to travel. Along Route 16 will be very difficult as well. Take a closer look toward places like North Collins and Eden, over toward Boston with some heavy snow coming down right now. Melissa says she's seeing a few flurries in South Buffalo, Lackawanna area. Thank you for that, Melissa. The band is pushing northward, and you will see more flurries as you make your way up into that area later today. And Jamestown, just with a dusting. So I want to show you one more radar slide here, because we are getting the reports at Lackawanna and South Buffalo seeing a few flakes. And we're seeing that on the radar as it just makes its way
toward South Buffalo.
Aaron, this is a fascinating look.
I love this picture. Yeah.
This is Blaisdell. And when you take a look at the divide here, this is like the tale of the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, look at that.
The clouds sitting over the area south of Blaisdell. You understand how sharp that divide actually is.
A very sharp gradient in the snow. That might be a term we're going to hear a lot for the next 12, 24, 48 hours. Sharp gradient of snow. You saw a few flakes show up on the screen right there in Blaisdell, but the big story is looking at that sky with the ominous clouds that are just slowly pushing northward toward Blaisdell and the stadium right now. A couple of flakes starting to fly in Blaisdell, but watch. It'll be interesting because we're going to be here for a while to then go back to this camera and say 30, 60 minutes and watch what a difference it's going to be.
Because you're expecting this band to move northward.
Yeah, it is moving northward. It's going to continue to do so. It will get about as far north as South Buffalo, maybe clip into the metro area as we get into this afternoon.
Nick was wondering what the timetable looks like for the Bills game in terms of moving snow into the Orchard Park area, because we saw really not much.
Yeah, there's not much there right now. That will change over the next, say, 6 hours as this band is moving northward. Orchard Park, areas near Orchard Park by the stadium, still nothing at the moment, green grass. Yep, there's a little snow coming down in Orchard Park right now. They'll have snowfall rates 1 to 2, perhaps 2 to 4 inches per hour late this afternoon into this evening. The snow will not diminish, weaken. The band will weaken on Sunday, but expect some more snow near Orchard Park during the day on Sunday. The heaviest snows will be this afternoon into tonight at the stadium. Notice around the stadium right now, things are moving smoothly. Just a little dusting right there. That will be changing. Expecting about 10 to 20 inches of snow in Orchard Park by the time we get into tonight, and then that band shifts southward.
What was so interesting to me, hearing from Bill Geary, who is Erie County's Department of Public Works Commissioner, saying specifically to Justin's comment, or kind of related to Justin's comment here about
we'll answer more about Justin's comment in a second. Yeah,
he's saying that if you're going to the game, make sure you're checking in with your private lot owner beforehand, because they might not have plowed the area. There might be feet of snow by the time you're ready to tailgate tomorrow. And he's saying NFL lots will be cleared, but those private lots might have a little bit of a problem.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of snow that's heading toward Orchard Park, and it's got to go somewhere. Kim's saying it's coming down where she is in Angola. I appreciate that update, Kim. As far as the game tomorrow, so during your tailgate, it will be snowing. Temperatures will be in the 20s. You'll have snow. And then as we get toward game time, most likely snow at the start of the game. The band is going to push southward, south of Orchard Park, late tomorrow night. Does it do so during the game? I think the weather will be better toward the end of the game than it will be during the start of the game. But with lake effect snow, it's, I don't want to say impossible. It's very difficult to pinpoint exactly where it will be at a certain time, especially 24, almost 36 hours from now. So basically, you're going to have snow in Orchard Park today, tonight, and tomorrow. That snow will continue for at least through to the start of the game, and then later during the game, it will continue to push southward.
All right, we'll show you a live look in Angola this morning as we continue to go around the horn on our traffic cameras.
I love
here.
this NITEC capability of just looking at the different cameras. So you can really see how things are diminishing. Again, an hour ago, there was no issue there. Now the snow is starting to pick up, and we're losing the visibility as well as that snow is starting to cover the roads in Angola. And obviously the grass is going to be covered shortly as we'll have snow rates about 1 to 2, perhaps 2 to 4 inches per hour later today.
Okay, if you're just waking up this morning, we've got another full hour of coverage to make sure that you're in the know on this Saturday morning. You're watching a special edition of Good Morning Buffalo. We're going to take a quick break on TV. We'll be right back. Okay, so we've got about 90 seconds here. Is there somebody here? We're going to check in with some folks in Hamburg also. My friend Sean Crotty from Erie County is here. I'm going to pull him into the mix. Hi, Sean. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can. Good morning, Ed. How are you?
Okay, cool. Hey, Sean, we're going to check in with you in just a minute. So stand by for me, okay?
You got it.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll check in with folks in Hamburg in just a sec. We're seeing mixed reporting when it comes to what people are actually seeing. Few flakes. It's a tongue twister. As opposed to what folks are seeing further south. But obviously, we are going to continue the progression of this snow band moving north, so we want to make sure that we're checking in to see how they're preparing. Kim, appreciate you. Yeah, love Love your comment here. It's a good thing our boss is in the back here. He's watching. He knows. That's so funny. And Linda, we're glad you're with us. Yeah, we just want to make sure that you're in the know here. We are going to also give you some snow totals, check in with the airport, and I want to show you what it looked like in Springville yesterday as well. So we've got that coming up in our next hour. Aaron, tell me how much time we have left here in this break. We got 10 seconds. Good morning to you. It is 9 o'clock on the start of your Saturday morning. You are looking live in Angola this morning as the snow continues to fall, as it has been for days now in some cases. And in some cases, we're seeing feet of snow already piling up, especially in the southern part of Western New York. Here's what you need to know as you're waking up on this Saturday morning. First of all, there is a travel advisory in place for all of southern Erie County. That includes Lackawanna, Hamburg, Evans, Brant, Collins, West Seneca, Orchard Park, Eden, Boston, North Collins, Elma, Aurora, Colden, Concord, Murillo, Wales, and Holland. There's also a travel advisory in place in Cattaraugus County for the entire county, Fredonia, and the town of Pomfret as well. What does that mean? Really avoid any unnecessary travel if you can. There is a complete ban of traffic. Any driving whatsoever is prohibited on the 90 westbound. The 90 westbound is closed between Hamburg, exit 57 to the Pennsylvania line, and there is a commercial vehicle ban on the 90 in both directions between Rochester and the Pennsylvania line as well. I also want to point out that I've been making some calls here this morning. It looks like in Chautauqua County, a few cars have been off the road overnight, nothing they can't handle. The 86 is also closed to commercial traffic, though regular traffic is still permitted. I want to bring in our chief meteorologist, Aaron Minkowski, as we say good morning to you at 9 o'clock. I'm Ed Dranch. Aaron is here with us tracking where we can expect to see snow falling throughout the day today.
And you mentioned all the travel advisories and some of the bans, and wow, the snow is just piling up south of Buffalo. Here are some numbers, and I'm just looking, the new numbers just came out from the Weather Service. Cassadaga leading the snow total numbers with 31.6 inches, but Mayville at 30 inches of snow. That's in Chautauqua County. In Cattaraugus County, the town of Cattaraugus, 29 inches. Perrysburg, almost 2 feet of snow. South Dayton, about 21 inches of snowfall. And then in Erie County, the highest total we're seeing so far, Springville at 19 inches of snow. Holland coming in with about a foot. Glenwood, about 8 inches of snow. Same thing with Colden. So look at those numbers. And of course, those numbers are going to go up as we head into today, tonight, tomorrow, and even Monday, as this is a long-lasting event. There is that lake effect snow band right now, getting itself better organized. It did weaken a bit overnight, and then as the morning's moving along, it is starting to strengthen again. The northern edge of the band has now hopped over 20A, pushing up toward Hamburg, a couple of flakes in South Buffalo and Lackawanna, Orchard Park, Elma, over toward Attica. And then the southern edge of the band from, say, Westfield toward Cassadaga, moving over toward Otto. Along the 219, travel will be very difficult across southern Erie County, along 16 in Holland. Evans, Eden, Boston, Holland, that snow is really going to pile up. Show you what's going on right now near Brant, North Collins. We had a viewer tune in with us earlier showing all of the snow in North Collins. She estimated about a foot to 2 feet of snow, which seems right on par with what everyone else around you is getting. And now that band pushing into western Wyoming County, places like Java will be getting the snow that'll really pile up as the day progresses. And the northern edge of the band now pushing up towards Lackawanna, just now near Orchard Park along Jameson Road and into Elma. As the day moves along, places like Lackawanna, Orchard Park, Wales, Elma, even Alden, South Buffalo, and then as we get near Cheektowaga, you will start to see that snow intensify later today.
Aaron, maybe you could put some snow totals on this for us as well, because I know a lot of people, when all is said and done, are going to be interested in how much snow we're actually going to be getting.
Yes, and you can see that lake band is very, very impressive out over Lake Erie as the winds will start to shift, and they are doing so pushing some of the heavier snow northbound. And that's what we're going to see as the day moves along. So as far as snow totals are concerned, we'll get to those in 1 second. Lake effect snow warning in effect through 7 p.m. on Monday for areas south of Buffalo. That warning in effect for northern Erie County and Genesee County through 7 p.m. tomorrow. Highest snow totals will be just to the south of Buffalo, from South Buffalo, stretching over toward southwestern Genesee County. Here's the model showing the snow band pushing up toward Buffalo this afternoon, especially South Buffalo. The heaviest snows across the south towns later today and into tonight, and the higher snow amounts into northwestern Wyoming County and southwestern Genesee County. As the evening moves along, then the band starts to push further southward with the heavier snows again for Hamburg, East Aurora, and Holland. The band does weaken a bit on Sundays. We're talking light snow in Orchard Park Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening for the game as that band continues to shift further southward. We are going to talk about feet of snow on top of the feet of snow that you already have in some spots. Here are snow totals on top of what's already on the ground along the Chautauqua Ridge. Another couple feet of snow. Same thing with places like Springville, stretching up toward Holland. You're in that 12 to 24 inch range. Look at the sharp cutoff, though, as you get up toward Buffalo, over toward Batavia. I know it's a wide range of snow totals, but anywhere from 2 to 12 inches. Say the metro area where we are could see a couple of inches, but South Buffalo could see a foot or more. And you'll get higher amounts for places like East Aurora, Holland, Hamburg, and Orchard Park. Cheektowaga, you're right on that northern edge. You'll see a little bit of snowfall. Southern parts of Cheektowaga could see a lot more.
Angelo wondering the town of Tonawanda not getting anything. And it really looks like that Northtown area, Amherst, into Williamsville and Clarence, those areas don't seem to be getting much.
Clarence could see a little because they're further east if the band does push there, but Tonawanda, Amherst not going to see much. North Tonawanda, Lockport, even parts of Grand Island. Southern Grand Island could get some snow, but northern Grand Island will not see much. Niagara Falls, not much as well. As we get into Monday, Sunday night and Monday, as the winds shift and become more northwesterly, the north towns, Niagara and Orleans counties, you'll start to see some snow coming in off of Lake Ontario.
Here's a live look from Dunkirk right now with
Still
our
watching
camera
that car
down
right
south. Right, exactly. And that one car off the road. Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz, within the last half hour, put out a pretty interesting tweet, and I want to make sure that I'm reading it to you in full because he's talking about the closure on the 90 westbound between Hamburg and the Pennsylvania line. He's saying the thruway is closed westbound because the 90 is a mess and a parking lot in Pennsylvania, and the backup of traffic from all of those closures further south of the border in Pennsylvania. He says the eastbound lanes of the thruway are still open. So just to remind you, there is a closure on the 90 westbound between Hamburg exit 57 to the Pennsylvania line. And again, the county executive saying that this is really just because it's a mess in Pennsylvania and there's a huge backup as a result. And we're seeing some folks say that there are a lot of people who are stuck in the Erie, Pennsylvania area where we know they got clobbered. And Amanda here, when do you think it'll be safe to travel from Erie to Niagara Falls?
Okay, so unfortunately, Amanda, it's going to be like this. You're running into that band. Later today, the conditions will deteriorate because the band will strengthen. So the longer you wait, the more snow is going to pile up. From Erie to Niagara Falls, eastbound is still open. I would say the sooner the better if you have to travel. Like you said, Mark Poloncarz just did tweet out, eastbound is still open, and that's what you're going to run into, though. Notice the plows do go through. About, 20 minutes ago, we saw a plow go through. You could see the road, and now you really can't. So travel along the thruway will be extremely difficult, and at times, you'll be driving with your flashers on. Hopefully you get behind, somebody who is also going slowly. And because it looks like they have about one lane that's kind of plowed right now. I wish I had a better answer for you, but you are traveling into an intense lake effect snow band that will only strengthen as we get into the afternoon.
But what a difference a couple of minutes makes. I mean, this is literally 10 minutes that we saw Dunkirk with a plow go through, clearing that one lane down to the pavement, and now it's almost whiteout conditions once again. But then, you go into Hamburg or Orchard Park, and there really isn't anything. So
it is amazing. It's kind of the beauty and frustration of lake effect snow as well, just trying to forecast it. I think the Weather Service and your meteorologist in town have done a great job telling you this was going to happen this weekend, and it's working out exactly like we thought. The only question mark still is the northern extent of the band and how far north that band gets later on today. It is moving northward, and it will push up toward places like South Buffalo, Lackawanna, and even southern parts of Cheektowaga, Alma, and Alden later today.
An interesting comment from Brandon. If you're trying to get here from Pennsylvania, you're not getting in. I wouldn't even consider it.
I appreciate Brandon. You know what? That's great because he's probably down there.
Right.
And like you said, with all the trucks, New York State does a great job with clearing the snow and salting. Other states do not do as well as we do, which is why you're seeing that in Pennsylvania, probably Ohio as well.
I want to bring in Sean Crotty, who's from Hamburg Emergency Services. Hey, Sean, good morning to you. Glad you're with us. We appreciate your time this morning. Not much happening in Hamburg this morning.
No, not yet. We're just still in that preparation mode and monitoring what's going on elsewhere. So,
where are you right now, Sean?
I'm running the Boston-Hamburg border, which we're starting to see. We're starting to see about an inch an hour snowfall rate.
So Jen is saying, bring it to Hamburg. Are you guys ready, Sean?
We are. I just about a half hour ago spoke to our highway superintendent and just kind of got his brief on where his crews are and what they're up to. We've been communicating with our department heads that operate 24-hour departments, the police department, our dispatch office, our recreation that has some services that run on the weekend. So we have our game plan formulated based on really the forecast, Mesonet, a lot of the efforts that Aaron's putting forth, and our local meteorologists and the National Weather Service.
Oh, yeah. So how has it changed over the last hour or so where you are?
It's definitely the snowfall rates picked up. You go from Boston, right on the north side, the southern border with Hamburg, where we have 6 to 8 inches of snow. Up in the hill, there's a little bit more to the village of Hamburg, 4 miles away, where it's a dusting. So it's remarkable to see that differentiation.
And somebody wondering, is Hamburg even going to get snow, Aaron?
Oh, yes. And you heard him mention right now that the snow rate is starting to pick up. That band is moving northward, and it's pushing its way up into Hamburg. Over the next hour or two, you're going to see conditions really go downhill in places like Hamburg.
Sean, we know that there's a travel advisory in place for Hamburg and all of southern Erie County. I wonder if you can give me some information when it comes to the travel advisory, how we make that decision, and how you really keep people off the roads with just an advisory and not necessarily a travel ban. Because some people are saying that there should be a travel ban in place, though it seems like you guys are just getting ready for what's to come.
Of course, there's always going to be differences in opinion, and we have to do what's best for our residents, but we also have an impact on our neighboring communities where, I could be sitting in a neighboring community of Hamburg where it's sunny and think it's absolutely ridiculous that there's a driving ban, but a mile down the road, the visibility is 0. So it's very, very difficult with these storms that have very narrow, lake effect snow bands that impact and move through. Sometimes they move through rapidly. Sometimes they take their time getting through. So the travel advisory is really just a friendly way of saying, hey, if your confidence in your driving abilities in winter isn't very good, let's make this trip another day. The driving ban, is really a stern order that says, your driving is prohibited, but that also closes businesses down. It gets into the debate of essential workers versus non-essential workers. So, it's not a decision that's taken lightly because it impacts so many and so much.
Sean, let me ask you, with the snow that's coming, do you anticipate a travel ban in place, or are we going to keep this advisory?
That's always on our consideration, and we want to make sure that we communicate that driving ban out with enough notice that it doesn't leave people stranded in, let's say, their workplace or places where they're not, able to sustain hours, being able to take care of themselves. So we want to make sure we get the, notice out. It's always under consideration. We're taking into account, many, many factors, in regards to the snowfall rates per hour, how our crews are managing keeping up with snow plowing. because that's all it really takes is one car to spin out or one empty tractor trailer to get stuck, and then our plows, can't drive through, stop traffic. So all of that goes into consideration, and we just really see how things are managing. But we're talking about so many different facets that we take into consideration before we issue the driving ban.
And just to reiterate, there is only a travel advisory in place right now. So again, as Sean mentioned, if you're confident with your winter driving ability, by all means, be on the road if you need to be, but avoid unnecessary travel.
But I do love the explanation, Sean. I appreciate that, because we do get that question
Sure.
a lot. And I also appreciate what you're saying about if you are concerned about your winter driving skills, or maybe you're in town and you haven't driven in the snow for quite some time. This isn't just a few flakes flying. Like you mentioned, your visibility is reduced, and it's only going to get worse as the morning moves along in your location.
Kathy wondering, are we talking feet of snow for Hamburg? She's concerned about the warm lake, Aaron.
Yes, you are talking probably about a foot plus in Hamburg. There might be a wide range in North Hamburg for the South Hamburg, but mostly Hamburg will average in that 10 to 20 inch range.
So we're hearing from Sean this morning, the snow picking up in intensity in Hamburg, as Sean's been mentioning to us. He's also going to join us tomorrow morning when we do our special coverage once again tomorrow morning as well. And we'll see, I'm sure, a big difference.
Sean's on the no sleep schedule as well.
Sean, we appreciate
weekend, right?
you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Say that again?
I said it's that long weekend off, the holiday weekend. That's okay. That's
of course it hits then.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Sean, you sound like you might need a little tea with
lozenge.
honey or sunny.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Hope you're feeling okay. And
Thank
look,
you.
we're going to take a quick break. It's 9:15 on the start of your Saturday morning. You're watching Good Morning Buffalo. Okay, so if you're watching on Facebook here, I want to let you know that Mark Polenkar is just tweeting again. Yeah. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Mark Polenkar is just tweeting within the last couple of minutes that they got about 16 inches of snow in the Concord district last night, which is, kind of southern Erie County. It is southern Erie County. Roads in all areas where it snowed are open except for Zoar Valley Road, and we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Zoar Valley between North Otto and Grote in the Springville area closed because of a tree down on a power pole, and NYSEG is going to be down there checking in to see how they can de-energize the lines there. Snowing hard in Attica, Lori says. Aaron, go ahead. What were you saying? Okay, so we're going to go back to Dunkirk in just a second. How much time do we have left in this break? 30 seconds left in this break here. So then we'll merge back in with our TV viewers. And we certainly appreciate all the folks who are joining us here this morning. And look, if you've got a lot of snow in your neighborhood, we want to see it. We want to have you be part of the show. So you can send me a text message. I'll send you a link. Let me give you my phone number once again. It's 716-713-3514. And Aaron, maybe you can put that in the comments.
Whew.
Okay, welcome back on this Saturday morning. It is 9:17. You are watching a special edition of Good Morning Buffalo. Here is where the snow is right now. Southern Erie County into the southern tier. And we should let you know that once again, there is a travel advisory in place for all of southern Erie County, in addition to Fredonia, the town of Pomfret, and Cattaraugus County, the entire county under a travel advisory. So what does that really mean for you? It means no unnecessary travel. If you don't have to be out on the road, don't be. They want to make sure that the plows have enough time to clear the roads and are given enough space. You're looking live at Hamburg this morning, and let's take this shot full. Excuse me, in Dunkirk.
Okay, yep.
You're looking live in Dunkirk this morning. Let's take
I'm like
this
Hamburg.
full.
That happened quickly.
What a nightmare. I'm thinking about Sean Crotty.
Yeah,
he was just with
Sean
us
was
from
great.
Hamburg. They're not seeing much. They're seeing some snow fall for sure. But as we've been watching over the last 20 minutes or so, we've seen conditions in Dunkirk deteriorate to the extent that you can't see anything here now.
Except that poor stranded car that's in there. 90 westbound from 57 to the state line is closed. 90 eastbound still open, but this is what you're driving into through Dunkirk near whiteout conditions, the snow coming down. They already have seen a few feet of snow near Dunkirk along that Chautauqua Ridge, the hardest hit area, and traveling through there will be extremely difficult, if not impossible. And that is why, because you can hardly see a thing. We've been checking out the, that's a tree, not a car.
Interesting. Okay, Kayla, thank you for letting us know. We can't tell. How's that? We really have no idea.
Like there's a tree to the right, but it looked like a car earlier. Anyway, as we look at that, that's the visibility that you're going to run into. We have seen some plows go by. As they go by, they do get the throughway down to pavement, and then 10, 20 minutes later, the ground is covered once again.
Yeah, so we saw that that plow go by, and I mean, it is night and day, really, within a matter of minutes. So that's how hard the snow is falling. Maybe you could answer Tom's question here as well, because this is interesting, the science of it all, right, Aaron? How come Niagara and Orleans County rarely get lake effect snow, being near Lake Ontario, which never freezes, yet Syracuse, Watertown, and the North Country get hit hard?
It's all about the wind direction. We primarily deal with that westerly wind, sometimes northwesterly. In this case, becoming more west-southwesterly as the day moves along, pushing that band northward. Up in Niagara and Orleans counties, you folks would need more of an easterly wind to produce some heavier lake effect snow off of Lake Ontario. That's why the other end of the lake gets slammed with that lake snow. Along Interstate 81, if you have travel plans to, say, Watertown. If you're going from Buffalo to Syracuse, really no issues this morning through early this afternoon. If you hit 81 going northbound, like you mentioned, they get hit very, very hard. It's all about that predominantly westerly component of the wind that pushes the snow to the other end of Lake Ontario.
Okay, so a lot of questions about whether the world's largest disco is still on. And I just got an email from the world's largest disco, and it appears to be still on.
Donna's asking right now.
Exactly. And the celebrity guests have been announced as well. Eric Estrada, Dave Coulier, Steve Weber, Aisha Scott, Kathy Sledge, Denny Torino, all coming in to make an appearance, it appears. Now, also just getting some information from the city of Buffalo this morning that there is going to be an update today at noon from the city of Buffalo. The acting mayor, Chris Scanlon, is going to be joined by the emergency response team to provide an update on the city's preparedness and response plans for this winter storm impacting the South Towns right now, but certainly also expected to move north, Aaron, as well at some point today.
Yeah, I was just texting Aaron in the booth if you could put the Eden Angola camera up so we could see what was going on there as that band continues to push northward. Evans, Eden, Boston, Howland, dealing with the moderate to heavy snow. The band was a little disorganized overnight. Snowfall rates about 1 to 2 inches per hour. We had Sean in Hamburg saying he thought the rate was about 1 inch per hour, and it will intensify as the morning moves along. Earlier today, the band was south of 20A. Now that band is shifting a little bit further northward, starting to get closer to the stadium. Still just a dusting in Orchard Park, but you have a little burst of snow as you're on that northern fringe of the band. But this is kind of a slow northerly movement, but it is pushing northward, and it's easy to see that it's rolled past 20A, and now we're starting to see the snow get up toward Route 20. Blaisdell, Hamburg, East Aurora, Alma, West Seneca, you folks will be in the heart of the band later this afternoon.
Okay,
so where are we here?
This looks like the Eden Angola camera.
Okay, perfect.
And what you're seeing here is the snow continued to pick up and more snow falling than what we've seen over the last hour or so.
It's been fascinating to watch this camera. Looking at around 7:30, nothing. Around 8 o'clock, okay, we have some. And now there's one person here going on the, I'm assuming 90 eastbound, because westbound is closed. And is that a plow?
Gosh, yeah, that looks like a plow.
Okay, that's a plow. And it's, yeah, that's definitely a plow, because you can see how great a job the plow driver's doing. Goes through, makes the pass, and you can see the pavement. And then we'll come back in like 30 minutes or so, and most likely you will not be able to see the pavement as that snow is coming down, as this band continues to move northward. Brian says it's snowing hard still in Fredonia. Thank you for that update, Brian. I'm assuming you have a couple of feet of snow on the ground already in Fredonia. That band really hugging the Lake Erie shoreline, bringing some very, very heavy snows along. the Lake Erie shoreline. Oh, and there's another vehicle. So they're out there, and visibility isn't horrible in that area, but as further south you go on the 90 going down closer toward Dunkirk and Silver Creek, you can hardly see a thing.
So the DOT tweeting within the last hour or so that while you were sleeping, their crews were out hard at work this morning. They're battling the lake effect intense bands here along Lake Ontario, further east,
Okay.
Obviously, than what we are seeing north
Like we just
of
talked
Buffalo.
about, Interstate
Exactly.
81. Yeah.
But then we're also dealing with the southern tier where we're seeing a lot of intense snow as well. So they're asking if you can stay home, give the plow drivers room to work. They're asking you to do so. But I want to show you, I'm going to share my screen here so that you can actually see what it looks like from their perspective, because I think it's really important that we understand what the plow drivers are dealing with, especially considering how high up they are, how hard it is to stop a plow, and frankly, the visibility and how low it is for these drivers. Take a look at these pictures here from Jefferson County, Chautauqua County as well.
Wow.
This is what it looks like for those plow drivers. Hard to see. And certainly, you know that one screensaver, if you're of a certain age, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. That Windows 95 screensaver with the snow that was coming towards you and it looks like you were almost going toward it.
Yes, okay.
It's that vertigo effect. You know what I'm talking
I
about,
do.
Aaron? That's what they're dealing with. And it is so hard to see for some of those folks.
That is unbelievable. Those pictures are crazy. That is what they have to deal with. And that snow, the snow rate right now, about 1 to 2 inches per hour in the heart of the band, becoming closer to 2 to 4 inches per hour as we get into the afternoon hours, which gives you an idea of what they have to deal with as they try to clear the roads. And we have, 16 crews ready to go in southern Erie County as that snow band continues to move northward.
Okay, so I want to also pull up another camera here. If we could pull up the Blaisdell camera, you actually get a sense of how different things are between north and south. And the ominous clouds that are hanging over the area as that snow band shifts. And Aaron, even in the last couple of minutes, we've seen this band shift north, which is exactly what you've been saying.
Yes. It's going to be a slow move northward for today as those winds start to back and become more of a southwesterly component pushing that snow northward. But look at this band. I mean, it's all out over Lake Erie from Cleveland, stretching toward Erie and then back into Dunkirk as it kind of meanders. And it is going to oscillate a bit as we head towards, through your Saturday and then back into Sunday as it shifts further southward during the day tomorrow. So this is a view of Blaisdell?
Hamburg. This is Hamburg right
Hamburg.
now.
Okay.
But as we've been hearing, this is from Sean Crotty moments ago telling us that the snow had picked up in intensity. We're starting to see it stick on the side of the roads as well. But again, just to reiterate, the 90 westbound is closed westbound because of all of the congestion south of New York, in Pennsylvania, where it's a mess, according to Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz. So the 90 westbound here in western New York is closed between Hamburg to the Pennsylvania line.
Because in Pennsylvania, they have a huge backup.
Exactly.
Correct? Yeah, with
It's
bunch
a
of
parking
accidents.
lot, Poloncarz says. Misha wondering, when the snow moves north today, will it leave Cassadaga for a while?
Cassadaga, you may get a little bit of a break later today, but along that Chautauqua Ridge, the way the band is kind of hugging the Lake Erie shoreline, the snow could break a little bit later today, but it's coming back as we get into tonight and especially tomorrow through Monday and into next week.
Mike, good morning to you. Glad you're with us. He says, you drove with me to New York State DOT plow years ago. We went out on the 290 and the 990. I remember that vividly. It was the coolest thing I've ever done.
I bet.
Riding with these guys, I mean, you see what they go through and how hard it is to operate their machinery, drive that truck, and then, as we saw, work in those whiteout conditions. So you guys do the hardest job when it comes to snow. I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you for doing all that you're doing.
And what they have to deal with too, because you got the impatient person who's trying to pass the plow, and they're like, listen, this thing's huge. We've got the plow down, taking up about 2 lanes. So just let them do their thing as they are out today. Right now, you're still seeing the pavement there, the Hamburg exit. But as the morning moves along, we've been watching the cameras. Earlier, about an hour or two ago, there was no snow, and now it is pushed up into that area, and that northern trend will continue.
Okay, so Junior wondering that he's going to drive from Hamburg to Attica tonight and then back home tomorrow morning. He says, keep that snow away. Totally understand what you're saying. And then look at the sharp divide here. If we take my computer as we head out to break on TV, this is live from Blaisdell. And you're seeing those ominous clouds hanging over the area and a few flakes falling, but it's likely things could change.
It's getting close. The Hamburg exit, we saw that the view is greatly diminished as far as visibilities are concerned. And now we're starting to see more flakes on this Blaisdell camera, but look at that sky. And that is what's pushing northward.
So we're going to take a quick break on TV. If you're watching on Channel 7, we'll be right back. But if you're watching on our Facebook Live page, we're going to continue the conversation. You're watching Good Morning Buffalo. Okay, we've got about 3 minutes here. Appreciate you all for joining here. Listen, if you have snow, especially in the southern tier, can you let me know? Is there anyone here, Paula wondering, is the Lancaster Fire Truck Parade still on? Yeah, as far as we know, we haven't heard anything. But I want to bring in some folks here to kind of paint the picture. So we heard from Lynette in North Collins a little while ago. I want to know if you can join us as well. Now also just getting some information that the city of Dunkirk is under a travel advisory as well, which kind of makes sense when you consider...
Yeah, I assume they were already under,
right?
yeah.
And don't forget that all of Cattaraugus County is under a travel advisory as well.
Okay.
Hold on one
I know we're both, I'm trying to read up and see what's going on here with the latest.
Okay. So again, if you are in a snowy area, I want to see what it looks like for you. Aaron, maybe what you can do is put my phone number in the comments again. It's 716-713-3514. Julie, are you in Gowanda? Because
I'd be curious.
I would love to see what it looks like in Gowanda. And if we could take you and bring you into the show, take your camera and hear from you, I would love to bring you in because we know Gowanda got slammed. So here's my phone number, 716-713-3514. Send me a quick text message. Okay, yes, perfect. So Julie, send me a text so that I can respond to you with a link, and then we can pull you into the show in the next half hour. And then Michelle's in Perrysburg. Michelle, what are you seeing? Here's my text me. Send me all the text messages.
Send them to him.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my email from the weather at WKBW.com, and we got some great pictures from Brett and Cattaraugus and Margaret and Springville, Sue in West Seneca, Cheektowaga. Linda sent me some stuff from Brant, but I can't open it. It could be my fault, not you. And then Dave with a nice picture of the sunrise, not a flake, over the Niagara River, which makes sense.
Aaron, the producer, is telling me that Dunkirk is a whiteout. We're going to check in just a second.
Okay.
Okay, yes, perfect. Julie, I appreciate you. This is awesome. You're so great. I'm going to send you a link right now. Hang on one second. And then you can join us because we want to see what it looks like in your community. And you guys are our eyes and ears on the ground here. So here's the link for you, Julie. And then I want to, Carrie. Okay, here we go. We're going to be on TV. Hi, everyone. Good morning to you. It is 9:30 on the start of your Saturday. Welcome to a special edition of Good Morning Buffalo. Okay, so this is a live look in Dunkirk right now. Guess what? You can't see anything. It's a whiteout. And it's going to...
Okay, they're moving the camera right now. Okay.
Right? Continue to be snowing hard in this area, Aaron, is what it appears.
Yeah, Dunkirk, travel there extremely difficult as the snow continues to come down. Already measuring the snow in feet with a couple more feet of snow expected in Dunkirk. Obviously, along the thruway, travel extremely treacherous, if not impossible in some spots, as that lake effect snow band comes in off of Lake Erie. Snow rates right now about 1 to 2 inches per hour in the heart of the band. It actually weakened a bit overnight. It will strengthen as the day moves along, as the winds become more aligned, and we get a little more moisture moving into this system. So expect about 2 to 4 inches of snow per hour later today as that band moves northward. We're getting some great pictures and some great reports from our viewers here in Western New York. Certainly love the comments starting to come down in Derby, so we appreciate that, Vera, as the band is slowly pushing northward. They've had very, very heavy snow, especially south of Buffalo overnight, and that band is going to continue to inch northward. Pomfret between Cassadaga and Fredonia, near 4 feet, I believe it, Jess. Appreciate that. Cassadaga is about 3 feet of snow, and same thing with Perrysburg. Getting some great pictures, say Brett and Cattaraugus with measuring snow in feet as well. Perrysburg, look at Brockton and West Valley, more than a foot. Colden and Holland, close to a foot of snow. Here's the band right now as it pushes northward across the area. The northern edge of the band now starting to hop over 20A. When we got here this morning, it was south of 20A. Now it continues to slowly push northward. The southern edge of the band, again, moving northward away from Westfield. Cassadaga, you're still in that, but you will get a little break later this morning and into this afternoon. Dunkirk, you are in the heart of the band right now. Concord with some heavy snow too. Hamburg, Eden, Boston, Holland, Java, Sheldon, later today into southwestern Genesee County too. Blaisdell, Elma, you folks will get a fair amount of snow as we get toward this afternoon in that 10 to 20 inch range. Same thing with Evans. North Collins already has about a foot or two with more on the way as that band shifts northward. Jenna saying nothing in Lancaster. We're near Elma and Alden. Yep. Jenna, that makes sense. That'll change later today, especially as you are in southern portions of Lancaster.
All right, let's bring in my friend Julie here, who is joining us this morning. Julie, good morning to you. Thanks so much for sharing your voice, your perspective this morning. Tell us where you are.
We're in Gowanda.
Okay, so Gowanda being buried this morning.
Yeah, just a little bit. They did finally get the roads a little bit clear, so that's good.
And so tell me what you're experiencing in terms of snowfall down there. We know Gowanda being hit hard, but if you could give us an estimate, what are you seeing?
At least a foot to 2. I mean, the pile there is just where I shoveled a path, so it's pretty thick, pretty high.
Denise also saying that in Silver Creek, there's thunder, snow, and hail. So yeah, all of these areas are kind of under the gun right now. And I should point out that in Dunkirk, Fredonia, the town of Pomfret, all of Cattaraugus County and southern Erie County under a travel advisory.
I'll tell you, looking at the roads though, as you're live in Gowanda, one of the hardest hits areas, and their plow drivers have been out there salting and clearing, and the roads are down to pavement. They're moving around with no problem.
Julie, tell me, how long have you lived in Gowanda? Julie, you there?
Michelle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Michelle, I'm sorry. I apologize. Good morning to you. Wrong camera. Oh, we've got so many people joining us. Michelle, good morning to you. Tell us where you are.
I am in Dunkirk. And
Dunkirk
it
also
is
getting hit hard.
coming down like you would not believe.
Wow. So what do you think you have there in Dunkirk?
Well, when my significant other took the trash out this morning, it was knee-deep snow, and I've got my girls shoveling out back because our vents for our furnace and stuff are very low, and they're saying that it's coming down faster than they can shovel.
Oh, wow. And thank you for that, to point that out, that if your vents are low like that, and you live in places like Dunkirk, Cassadaga, Pomfret, that you are clearing those, because obviously it could be a very dangerous situation.
So, Michelle, are you seeing people on the roads in Dunkirk? Because we know that there's a travel advisory in place.
But it's so far what I've mostly seen is like personal plow trucks going by, and I live next to a garage that has flatbeds and tow truck service, so they've been in and out quite a bit. But I mean, it's deep.
How long have you lived in Dunkirk?
My whole life, 41 years.
My girl, tell me exactly what you think about this. Is this something that you can handle, or is this like
we can totally handle it, but the problem is it's coming down so fast, and there's just nowhere to put it. And we haven't had to deal with this much snow in a long time, with Orchard Park and Hamburg and everybody getting hit, that we've gotten pretty lucky.
Yeah, we're hearing that from the folks down well south of Buffalo, because a lot of times the south towns get hit very hard, but now places like Dunkirk measuring snow in feet. And unfortunately, you're going to see another 1 to 2 feet of snow before all is said and done. So, oh, sorry. 1 to 2 feet of snow. And so you're going to have to continue to do what you're doing. It was interesting, though, to see we saw a flatbed truck go by and a personal plow on your road. Your road looks passable.
It definitely is. They were, Dunkirk was out overnight plowing pretty good. And when I went to bed around 1:30, it wasn't really doing a whole lot. So we had a couple hour stretch last night where it did stop for a bit, but it's definitely not a fun day out.
Okay, so I'm just getting some messages, Frank, Michelle, that Gowanda, which is nearby, apparently has a lot less than Cherry Creek. What do you think about that?
That's interesting because we're getting some reports from Gowanda where we're measuring snow in feet. So is it less because Cherry Creek has more feet?
Interesting.
But that stretch
saying it's completely buried.
Buried?
Yeah.
Where?
Cherry Creek.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Cherry Creek, South Dayton.
Go
ahead,
bring
Julie.
somebody else on. Enjoy.
Bye, Michelle.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
We love hearing your voice. You guys are the best.
Okay, so I mean, you're looking Cassadaga toward Dunkirk, Gowanda, Perrysburg, Cherry Creek, getting a little break now. You can actually do a little shoveling and clearing there. But South Dayton, that area of central and northern Chautauqua County, northwestern Cattaraugus County, that's the area that picked up the most snow overnight, and over towards Springville as well. So they're kind of shoveling out like you just saw our friend right there. But I thought her point about if you have a house where the vents are a little low, make sure you clear those. You'll catch your breath across southern and central Chautauqua County and Cattaraugus County as the day moves along, as this band continues to move northward, and then things will be changing. Especially, we're getting reports now the snow's starting to stick in Hamburg toward West Seneca, East Aurora, and Orchard Park, Eden, Boston, Holland. The snow continues to come down, and we've been watching that Blaisdell camera all morning as that continues to show us a little snow in Blaisdell.
Well, yeah, but the clouds, Aaron.
It's the clouds in Blaisdell that are most fascinating to us.
So
right
cool.
Yeah.
But also what we've seen is a shift in the clouds as well.
Yeah, and you're starting to see the snow. There's on the side of the roads there start to accumulate and stick. There will be an extremely sharp northern cutoff with this snow. It's going to keep moving northward, head up towards South Buffalo, stretching over toward through Lackawanna, even Lancaster, parts of Cheektowaga, Depew, south of that line. So north of the line, you're not going to get much snow. I know we're getting the reports of seeing the sun in Tonawanda. That's what you're going to see today. Outside of the band, it's kind of quiet weather. In that band, that's where travel will be treacherous. The snow band will intensify this afternoon, and we will pick up snow rates perhaps 2 to 3, even 4 inches per hour in the heart of the band later today.
So Michael's wondering, will this band shift so it's coming down between Lockport and Rochester? What are your thoughts about this, Aaron?
You're talking maybe Lockport and Rochester along Route 104 tonight. Maybe that the band it wouldn't hit Lockport, but maybe toward Rochester on the thruway east of Batavia. Some snow could push that way. The winds aren't that strong, so if you had stronger winds, it would push the band further inland, but that's not the case. That's why western Wyoming and southwestern Genesee County will see the heaviest snows in those counties because the winds aren't pushing the band very far inland. So Lockport to Rochester, you have a better chance of getting some snow as we get into late Sunday and Monday as the winds become more northwesterly off of Lake Ontario.
This is a live look in Dunkirk. We're going to take a quick break on TV, and we're going to keep the conversation going on our WKBW Facebook page. It's 9:42. You're watching Good Morning Buffalo. Okay.
Wow. That picture right there of Dunkirk is crazy.
How many more breaks do we need to take here, Aaron? Okay. Okay. So hold on one second. The plows. Oh my gosh, the plows having a hard time this morning. Seeing some.
Where's that?
Not too sure off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the texter. I love hearing from you guys and having you guys on.
Yeah, I'm writing back to all the people who have sent in pictures on weather at WKBW.com. Getting some great pictures. This one from Springville, from Margaret. Wow, can hardly see a thing.
You know what, Aaron? Maybe can you put those cameras in our WKBW Slack channel so that I can pull them up?
These pictures?
Yeah. Is that asking a lot?
Yes, Edward. I can forward them to you via the email.
Yeah, do that so that I could pull them up
Okay,
here.
thank you.
Renee says, I'm on Route 5 in Dunkirk. Traffic is moving really slow, whiteout conditions right now. And we saw that camera in Dunkirk and really how low.
I like that we have fun
crazy
in the
it
morning.
is.
So together, for people who are tuning in, I'm not a big Slack channel person.
Yeah, forward it to me and
I'm forwarding it to you right now. Nor am I big with the technology. So slow and steady. That's how I do it.
Okay, so this snow clouds in West Seneca, Cheektowaga area. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Okay, I'm sending you the one from Margaret. That's good.
Okay.
My big fingers don't go that quickly either. Let's see here. Snow in Cattaraugus. I want to forward this. You go to that button. Can get that.
We got about 45 seconds left here in this break. I'm just going through some of the pictures that Aaron's sending
There you
me.
go, big guy.
Thank you. Melly, Aaron, or not so tech savvy weather daddy.
Thank you. You're putting it very nicely. Yeah, you should see. Went to the Sabres game yesterday, and I had to go in with the person who had the tickets because he was like, "Can I send you the ticket?" I'm like, "No, you can't because my phone's so old and I can't accept your tickets." We thought that was funny. We had a lot of fun with that all day.
Okay.
Okay, Rushford up to 5 inches.
Okay.
But you know what? I don't mind.
All right, so here we go. We're going to look at Dunkirk and stand by for us.
Okay.
Welcome back. It's 9:44 on the start of your Saturday morning. You're watching a special edition of Good Morning Buffalo, a live look in Dunkirk right now where there are whiteout conditions. We know the southern part of Erie County being hit hard along with the southern tier. A travel advisory in place for all of southern Erie County along with Cattaraugus County, Dunkirk, Fredonia, and the town of Pomfret. If you don't have to be out on the roads, you're being told not to be on the roads. And this is a case in point of why, because you simply cannot see and they don't want to have to deal with any emergencies in this kind of weather. I should also point out that the 90 westbound is closed between Hamburg, exit 57 to the Pennsylvania state line. That's until further notice, and that there is a commercial vehicle ban on the 90 in both directions between Rochester and the Pennsylvania line. A state of emergency also in place for Allegheny, Erie, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Genesee, and Wyoming counties. We're going to take a look at some of your pictures that you're sending to us at weather@wkbw.com right after this.
Wow. Okay, Bob, that's a thank you for that update with the heart of it right now by Arcade there in Wyoming County. So appreciate that. Wyoming County, obviously you're in the warning, and a place like Arcade could see 10 to 20 inches of snowfall before all is said and done. As this runs through Monday, actually probably beyond that, you'll be measuring some snow in feet, additional accumulations on top of the feet that you already have on the ground. So we're getting a lot of stuff coming in on our emails, and Ed is getting a lot on his text because he puts his phone number out there.
Aaron, when we come back, can you do like a future look into the rest of the day?
Yeah, sure.
And what to expect tonight, so that we've about 8 minutes when we come back from break here.
Well, 8? Okay. How much time do we have in this break? I can go.
90 seconds left.
Oh, that's plenty of time.
Okay, so will this affect air travel in Cheektowaga? Kathy is saying, you know what, Kathy, the airport here, they know exactly what they're doing. I was looking at the delays and cancellations, and it really doesn't look like there's much. I saw one delay, as a matter of fact, so I really wouldn't even worry too much about it. And of course, you know, if we have somebody who is in an area that is being hit hard, I would love to see your picture and bring you into the mix here, because there are a lot of people who are being hit hard when it comes to the snow here. So I'm going to save this picture. I want to show you what it looks like in Holland, because we haven't really hit Holland just yet. And it's pretty good.
Yeah, Holland's about a foot, or what we saw, a foot, I think. Let's start with the snow totals.
Okay.
Like that, and then we'll talk where the band is, where it's going, and then how much more snow we're all going to get.
So you're just seeing a little bit of behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
As we kind of navigate through.
Organize ourselves. And then, can you ask Aaron, is that...
this is Silver Creek.
Silver Creek? Okay. So Dunkirk, Silver Creek. And then if we could have that Eden Angola one ready too. That's the next one, so that we can show where that band is going.
Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome back. It is 9:48 on the start of your Saturday morning. You are looking live in Silver Creek this morning. This is a matter of fact, as the conditions deteriorate, what it's going to look like throughout the day. You're watching special storm coverage of the conditions really kind of falling apart here in Western New York, especially in the southern tier.
Yeah, Dunkirk to Silver Creek, we've been checking out those exits, and it is a slow mess right there.
I mean, we're seeing plows go through, but obviously, they're having a hard time keeping up with all the snow that's falling as well. I want to let you know that the 90 westbound is closed between Hamburg and the Pennsylvania line until further notice. We're being told that it is just a parking lot in Pennsylvania, and there are huge backups as a result of the snowfall south of the border. Let's talk about, I knew we weren't on TV, Aaron.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Okay.
I was actually going to take your pen and write, are we on?
Here we go. Good morning to you. It is 9:49 on the start of your Saturday morning. If you are watching on Channel 7, we're glad that you're with us. If you're watching on our WKBW Facebook page, this is a live look in Silver Creek right now. Aaron, give us an idea of the forecast for the rest of the day and what to expect.
Okay, a lot of you south of Buffalo measuring snow in feet right now. Cassadaga, more than 2 feet of snow. Perrysburg, close to 2 feet. Brockton and West Valley, more than a foot. Colden, about 8 inches of snow. Getting some other numbers in. Mayville at 30 inches. Cattaraugus in Cattaraugus County, 29 inches. South Dayton, about 21. Colden, well, you said the 8.4 right there. And then as we made our way through East Concord, about 13 inches of snow. Not much for places like Hamburg and Orchard Park right now, but that'll be changing. Checking out the radar, there's that band coming in off of Lake Erie, slowly pushing northward, now making its way into Hamburg and East Aurora, into Sheldon. Had a report from Arcade, where the snow is really starting to come down right now. Southern edge of the band from Westfield toward Cassadaga, and that band continues to move northward. So areas well south of Buffalo that have been hit very, very hard over the last couple of days will catch a little break as we get toward the afternoon, and this band pushes northward. This is the area later today, places like Lackawanna, Elma, over toward Orchard Park, Hamburg, Eden, Wales, that will pick up significant snows. There'll be a sharp cutoff of how north that band gets. So really stretching up toward, say, South Buffalo to South Cheektowaga, over toward Alden into southwestern Genesee County southward. Those are areas, Southtown communities south of Buffalo could pick up 10 to 20 inches of snowfall. Reagan saying about 30 inches in Dunkirk with another couple of feet on the way. Reagan, unfortunately, this is going to last for quite some time. You can see that band out over Lake Erie making its way toward Western New York, and it will strengthen as the day moves along. So here's the model showing around 3 p.m., the band pushing into the south towns with some heavy snow and up toward Buffalo. So the metro area will get some snow, certainly snow that will be able to handle, but that band of snow will push up toward the metro area with the heaviest snow from South Buffalo, stretching into southwestern Genesee County, northwestern Wyoming County, and then the heavy snow in southern Erie County, central southern Erie County. And then Sunday, the band shifts southward back through the stadium where that snow will be coming down throughout the day. But the band will weaken as your Sunday moves along, which is good news for those of you going to the game. And then late on Sunday, the band continues to shift further south. You wake up Monday, the band settling down into the southern tier. We'll also see some snow start to come in off of Lake Ontario, impacting parts of Niagara and Orleans counties. So we are going to see a couple more feet of snow along the Chautauqua Ridge up into the Springville area, the Boston Hills, about 12 to 24 inches, and then about 10 to 20 as you go from, like I said, perhaps South Buffalo over towards southwestern Genesee County southward. That 2 to 12 is kind of near the metro area, where North Buffalo could see about 2 inches, South Buffalo could see a foot of snow.
So this is interesting with what Peter is saying. It's so calm in the town of Tonawanda, hard to believe a snowstorm is happening.
Yeah.
It really is that sharp contrast.
And it's amazing, Peter, if you go outside in Tonawanda and look southward, you'll see that dark sky with those clouds, that ominous wall of snow that is south of Buffalo. We've seen this before, in our previous Snowvembers, where there's a very, very sharp cutoff. That's what we'll have today as the band especially strengthens. You're expecting the snowfall totals the snowfall rate to be in that 2 to 4 inch range this afternoon when the band is at its strongest.
We've been talking specifically about the southern part of Erie County, where again, there is a travel advisory in place until further notice, which really just means that you shouldn't be on the roads if you don't have to be. This is what it looks like right now in Holland.
Okay.
Snow falling persistently, and look at the backyard here. It looks like a postcard. It's picturesque, but when you see how much snow has fallen there, it looks like they've got a good foot there.
Yeah, that's what we saw reports about 12 inches in Holland. And that's a great picture and great point too, as when you see the tree branches covered like that, it means the winds aren't that strong. I mean, in the band, the winds will kick up because the lake effect snow band will have the stronger winds in the band, but the winds aren't extremely strong, so the band's not getting pushed as far inland as, say, if we were to have stronger winds, it would push that band further into parts of, say, Wyoming County, eastern Wyoming County, eastern Allegheny County, and more of Genesee County. But I love that picture. Keep sending them in to weather@wkbw.com, and we can share those pictures with everyone.
So Shawnee is wondering, when do you think the thruway can open to get from Buffalo heading south to Ohio? Great question. Realistically, you have to go through Pennsylvania to get to Ohio on the 90s. So it might be some time. And the reason why is because, as the county executive was saying just moments ago, it's like a parking lot down there. So they have a huge backup in Pennsylvania on the 90, which is creating problems, which is why the 90 westbound right now is closed between Rochester and the Pennsylvania line.
The commercial vehicles, and then 57, right?
From Rochester, yes. And then from Hamburg to the Pennsylvania line, it is closed to all traffic westbound.
Yeah, westbound. So, Shawnee, that is a great question, Alicia, like you said, as they have to deal with all of the vehicles that they need to move because it's like a parking lot there in northwestern Pennsylvania.
So I want to show you what it looks like. This is the Hamburg area right now. The snow, as we've been watching all morning long, has continued to fall. I want to show you what it looks like in Cattaraugus as well. This is from one of our viewers, Brett. We appreciate you sending all that snow to us, and it looks like there is a lot that's fallen.
And that looks like a truck that can get through the snow,
right.
And look at all that snow. So certainly appreciate that from Cattaraugus. That is from Brett. And Cattaraugus, you're getting probably close to 30 inches of snow at this point. Yeah, 29 as of 7 a.m. Let's just say over the last 3 hours, you picked up another inch of snow. So I'm looking at about 30 inches there.
Thank you so much for being with us on this special edition of Good Morning Buffalo. We're going to be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. As we say goodbye to you, we invite you to join us at that point at 8 o'clock, right back here. Have a great day, everyone.
Okay. Whew. Oh, good. Good job, Edward.
Oh my God.